Now, tonight, we have a man who has become, I dare say it, a legend. I'm talking about, at least on the internet, UFO Phil. He's a UFO experiencer who has become well known to the callers of the popular radio program, The Great Coast to Coast. He's written songs for them. My goodness, he's had all kinds. I think he's put out a whole album on UFOs. He's worked on the idea of building a space station, I believe, on Pikes Peak for aliens, and he has a lot of things to say about them. So I'm fascinated to talk to this experiencer. I'm talking to UFO Phil. UFO Phil, welcome to the program tonight.
Thank you, Jim. Welcome to yourself.
Well, thank you. So UFO Phil, how did you get the name UFO Phil?
Well, actually, it started, it kind of goes way back to when I was in elementary school, and it started as kids. They were kind of being mean to me, really, and they used to call me that and point and laugh because they knew about some of my experiences that I had as a baby. I'm not sure how they even found out all the details, unless maybe when I told them about it, then they just remembered. And then they started pointing and laughing and calling me UFO Phil. And then just over the years, I started to embrace it and not feel ashamed. And I started to like it. And now people just call me that and it's okay.
Now, you said experiences while you were a baby. What happened exactly when you were a baby, UFO Phil?
And can you keep a secret?
Me and our thousands of listeners, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, well, when I was 2 years old, that's the first time that I was abducted by the good aliens. And that Zakon is the leader of the good aliens. Yeah,
Zakon.
Yeah. This is him here. I don't know if you can see.
Well, since it's an audio show, I can't see, but I have seen some of your videos, so I've seen a picture of Zakon. He strikes quite a figure.
Yeah, he has very nice skin. And he abducted me, and I was just a baby. And that's when he explained to me a great deal of many, many complicated things. And I was just 2 years old. I had no idea what the heck he was talking about, but he did put a chip in my brain that allowed me to be very musically talented. And then he wanted me to go forth and to spread the alien message through music. And that's what I've tried to accomplish with my life.
Well, certainly in some of the songs I've heard, I think you've accomplished that by all means. I do have to ask, did Zakon explain to you why he was named after an 80s era video game? Or I guess maybe the video game was named after him.
Yeah, I don't really know. Zakon has been around for many centuries. Actually, he's very, very old, which makes the fact that he has very nice skin even more impressive. But the video game, I have become aware of this. Zakon has become aware of this video game. He's decided not to litigate because he doesn't. It's different on his planet. There's not a lot of people suing over hot spilled beverages and things like that. So he doesn't want to sue. I think it was Coleco that made that game.
Yes, it was Coleco. Yeah. Good memory. Yes, UFO Phil. Excellent. I thought it was only me that remembered useless information like that. So that's excellent. So now, the musical ability, I think that we can't go much further. Let's play a clip from one of your compositions about the aliens, and let's take a little bit of a listen here because I think folks are going to enjoy what they hear.
Hey, yo, Trip. If you know me, then you know what I do. I listen to transmissions from Mars and the Moon, the alien channels. Yeah, I'm down with that, because the aliens got flavor, and that's really fat. Yeah, I catch the vapor from the alien street, but this one particular time, they knocked me off my feet. I was flipping through the channels, getting busy with the sound, when a dope new jam from the aliens came down.
So you got a little bit of a taste of the artistry of UFO Phil. Now, did you have to have musical training, or did once the microchip was implanted, was it just fully formed your musical talent?
Yeah, the microchip basically laid it all out for me. And then basically Zakon said, go forth into the world and just be musical. And then I had to go to school for many years to figure out how to make that happen. But he swears to me that if it had not been for the chip, it would have taken twice as long.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying there. I mean, to your level of artistry is incomparable, I would say. Now, in terms of, you talked about the good aliens and the bad aliens. Now, Zakon, definitely good alien.
Most of the time, we all have our moments. You know, you lose your temper.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
on
true.
average.
On average, he's a good alien. Yeah. Tell us about the bad aliens. What's the deal with them?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Yeah. The bad aliens, the ones that I'm in contact with now, I'm sure there are others, but I've been in contact with, there's a clan of aliens, and they're known as the Rogue Nest clan. Some people just pronounce Rogness. It just depends on where you're from. And they are red. You know, bad aliens are red, good aliens are blue. Makes it easy to tell them the difference when they're coming for you. You know whether to run.
Yeah, sure. That makes
away.
sense.
Yeah. And they have, basically when they will abduct you, they don't even bother to phone ahead and tell you about it. They just show up, which I think is particularly rude. There's really, if there was one word to sum up the bad aliens, it would probably be rude. And then maybe destructive, evil killers after, but mostly rude is what stands out to me. Yeah.
They need like Emily Post or something like that. They need to read some of that. Now
they learn manners, and then the killing would be a little bit more palatable when they come and just try and destroy the planet. At least if they had some manners, I think people would be more accepting of their issues.
Now, UFO Phil. Now, one thing that we talk about when we talk about aliens is, and I've had people like Stanton Friedman on my show and all kinds of experts about UFOs. And many people feel that a lot of the technology that we use today, my goodness, maybe the keyboard that you play, is reverse engineered from crashed alien spacecraft and those kind of things. Can you tell us, much of the technology, the iPhone, for instance, is this stuff all there you go. There's some technology in the background right now. Yeah. Is it reverse engineered? So what's the deal? Are we getting all our tech from the aliens?
Well, can you keep a secret?
Sure.
Yeah, my keyboard was just made in Japan. It's a Yamaha. Now, whether or not the Japanese reverse engineered it from something else, I don't know. I don't have access to their documents on that. But I know that it's that a lot of the technology that we have here, you'll notice that some of the stuff that our government uses is very crafty. Some of these hovering crafts that they have, the different Black Hawk helicopters and things like that, which will definitely be implementing some of the technology from some of the alien ships that they have found and are keeping in Area 51 and places like that, like stuff that they actually got from the Roswell crash scene. I was in possession of a lot of the Roswell crash debris for years, but I didn't have any of the engine parts or anything like that. Any of the they had the various very powerful engines that the government seized up and took before anyone else could sift through it and collect. And then some of it got, sold off and, yard sales and stuff around Roswell. You could buy that stuff really. It's just kind of like, that horrible, and I don't like talking about it because it was a really horrible day when the space shuttle exploded and there was all that debris, and then the government had to run around and try and stop people from picking up the debris.
Right.
I don't know if you remember over Texas. Yes. And it was similar to that back during the Roswell crash. And the reason that the government is that when the alien ships crash, they want to be able to reverse engineer that stuff. And then when our own ships, like the shuttle and stuff like that, have issues, they don't want just regular old people on the street, picking up that and being able to reverse engineer it in their garage.
Now, have any of the aliens ever talked about the possibility of maybe, you spread your word via music. Have they ever talked to you maybe about going on tour with you or maybe doing some joint appearances? I think that would really hit home and get their message to us.
It's true. And Zakon, he's the leader of the Good Aliens. This is the picture of him right here again. And
on our audio podcast. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because he has very nice skin. And he has spoken to me about, now I don't know if you've heard about this Mayan calendar thing where it's ending.
2012, yes. I hear that, December 21st, 2012, that everything is changing. There's going to be a great change in the universe, UFO Phil. That's what they tell me.
Yeah, it's actually coming a little sooner. The beginnings of it is happening June 10th, 2012. That's when the aliens actually arrive. And a lot of people think that the world is supposed to end and that's why the calendar ends. That's not true. What actually happens is the calendar ends because the aliens get here in 2012. And Zakon has personally asked me to organize a giant concert, and they would like to perform at this concert along with Lady Gaga and Katy Perry and Kanye. He wants
exactly.
he's not returning my calls, but I'm sure
shocked.
he wants to perform. Yeah, I know. He was at first. He seemed to be very into the idea of performing with these alien creatures.
And
he was very excited.
Katy Perry, I kissed an alien and I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it would make all the sense in the world.
I know, and so we're still in negotiations with their people. And Kanye, Kanye is really, it's hard to read. He has an attitude sometimes, and then the next day he's fine. And so, just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, you said even Zakon has bad days.
I know, and I have to be forgiving,
Yeah,
I have to be accepting of that, because that's really what it's all about. If you really get to the heart of what the message is from the aliens, it's all about just tolerance and forgiveness, and a lot about just eating right, eating a lot of just healthy food.
Well, you are what you eat. And if you eat bad things, you're going to be bad like the bad aliens. And we wouldn't want that. We want you to be good. Now, Phil, I've got to ask you, I know that you've had an extensive thought and idea of building an alien space station. I believe it's on Pikes Peak. Tell us about that, what the progress is on that. And for folks who aren't familiar, I saw that great piece with Tack Landrock, which is a great name, by the way, for a television broadcaster, on YouTube. If anybody wants to Google that, and it talks all about UFO Phil's plan to build a station on Pikes Peak there. But UFO Phil, can you talk about your plan and give us the update? Let us know how that's going.
Yes, and Tack Landrock did a really great job reporting about this.
Oh,
and
it's
he's
fantastic.
also, he's really fabulous. For an alien who's come to Earth and become a reporter and done as well as he's done, it's really great. And that's, of course, why he has that name. It's not an Earth name. And he's very proud of his alien heritage, or he would have, done like the others and tried to disguise it and change his name and stuff. But no, he did the report on the Pikes Peak Pyramid, and he was one of the first to embrace the idea. And since then, I've been getting so much support that I'm able to now branch out, and there are several pyramids in the works. The Pikes Peak Pyramid, and that's a lot of P's, so I apologize.
That's all right. You have a pop. Do you have a pop filter?
I have a pop filter, but it's sort of, you'll hear it. It's working overtime to try and keep up. I don't think it's used to so many plosives. But the Pikes Peak Pyramid proposal was the first one, which will be the highest one in altitude terms. But then we've got one that we're building out in San Francisco Bay on Alcatraz, and then another one behind the Hollywood sign, which will be slightly smaller, more of a backup generator, really.
I see. Now, explain again the concept of the pyramid. This would be where the UFOs would come to be re-energized. Is that right?
Not just UFOs, people. It generates hydrogen power, just like the original Egyptian pyramids. A lot of people don't know that they were originally built by aliens as great power stations, because the people of the Earth during that time, they had no use for energy. So they didn't really know. They built it. They had the blueprints, and the aliens said, here, build this. And they did. And it generated power for alien ships. And what we have come to know now, and Zakon has given me the blueprints here, as you can see.
Yes, over my microphone. Very clear, by the way.
Yeah, and you'll see right here, this is on this side of the pyramid, there's a chute that, and if you ever pull up diagrams of the great Egyptian pyramids, like the one at Giza, you'll see the same thing. There's a chute here that goes down into this chamber, and a chute on the other side that goes down into the chamber. And this is where you pour the different ingredients, and then they mix in the middle, and they form hydrogen gas, which can be used to power alien ships, human Earth people ships, like from the government,
Yes.
microwave ovens, anything you can use it to turn on your stereo if you have the right adapters. And just basically the energy can be shared by aliens and humans is the whole point. And it's really going to be this great thing, because we will all be able to come together and commune with the aliens over this shared common goal of hydrogen power.
Well, and of course, we're looking to be more green and come with all these different power sources. So that is, it's very compelling, the potential to have this. But I think sometimes I have to believe that the aliens have something more spiritual in mind. Now, Zakon, what is his goal? What does he want to achieve? What does he want to see humanity do? Does he want us to become more peaceful, more united? What is he looking for?
Well, Jim, you've really touched on something very special. And Zakon is both pragmatic and spiritual. He wants us to have this energy that we can share to better our lives here on Earth, and that they can also share in and use. And he wants us to achieve peace on the planet. He also knows that the bad aliens are out there hovering around and they want to attack. And he's willing to help us prevent that from happening because he loves us. He has a great deal of love in his heart. And he's trying to protect the planet. And, it's not just about peace and love and communing and energy. It's also a very practical move because they also need a place to kind of to camp out when they're on vacation.
So this was, it would be like, what is it? Campgrounds of America, but it would be Campgrounds of the Universe.
That's basically it. I don't know that that's what they're going to call it. I'll submit that to him as a proposal, and I can put your name down there next to mine.
I love it.
And if he goes for it, then we can get a cut. But it's definitely going to be just, they're sort of like Zakon and his people they're kind of like rogue hippie travelers in the universe, in the galaxy, and they have so much love. And their ships, in a way, are like hippie microbuses traveling through the galaxy. And they bring so much love and peace. And when they're in our neck of the woods, they like to pull over and set up their tents and just hang out. And, they will utilize some of the space on Earth. They're not going to take up a lot of space. There's still a lot of land out there that's not being used. And that's where that's where they will camp out and set up their warheads and their different weaponry that they will need to put into place for their own purposes, and it's not for us to decide. And then as long as that's good and we all agree to that, then all the love and the peace and all that other stuff I said will be just fine. Everyone will be happy.
And Zakon, I'm sure, is going to share with us his secret to great skin.
Absolutely. He's already shared it with me, and I'm working on it. I still have a few blemishes today. When I woke up this morning, I was a little unhappy, but Zakon, he'll be coming by around midnight, and he's got this really special cream. It's better than that Proactive stuff. I don't know if they're a sponsor on your show, so I don't want to say anything.
No.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Because that's a really good product. But his is better, is all I'm saying.
All the way from somewhere out there in the universe. Now, where exactly are they from? Can you explain to us where Zakon again comes from? Explain that to us.
Well, he's from the planet Zakon, which is about, if you look up there, and you go a little bit to the left.
Okay, I'm looking.
The flashy one.
Yep.
It's kind of not that. The problem with that is that it's flashing so bright, because that one's actually in our solar system. I think that's, if you go past that, but you can't really, it's hard to see past it because it's so bright. It's like the guy that's coming toward you on the road with his high beams on, and that's all you can see. That. And then you crash. So don't stare up there too long.
Now, see, I wish Zakon could give me like a special laser, so when that guy points his high beams at me, I could just like disintegrate him.
That'd be great.
Oh, that's not very peaceful and loving, is it?
No. Well, he has the technology. He doesn't use it very often.
Unless it's absolutely necessary. And then what are you going to do, right?
Well, yeah, you have to. If somebody upsets you. He does have a temper.
Sometimes. As you said, all of us have bad days, and you don't want to cross Zakon. So what would surprise us about the aliens? I mean, we know there's good ones. You've explained there's good ones and there's bad ones. What attributes of the aliens would surprise us? I mean, are they good at water polo? I mean, I don't know. You have firsthand experience.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
Oh, they love to dance. Well, you could probably guess they're very musical. That's why the first time that I was abducted, the first thing they did was put in a musical chip.
Makes sense.
They
Makes
love
sense.
to dance. They do. They've even requested that more of my videos on YouTube be dance videos, and I feel a little bit like I haven't quite delivered on that yet.
Now,
but that's something I want to do.
What do you think about this? Zakon, Tom Bergeron, Dancing with the Stars. I'm not going to say anything else.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, it would be a great way. He'd be on prime time. I mean, what reach?
And the great thing there is that some of the existing Dancing with the Stars cast members could fit right in with the aliens if you look at them.
This is true. This is true. You know, all we have to do is look at Nancy Grace and some of those folks that are on there now.
Well, I didn't name any names personally.
No, well, yeah, that wasn't very nice, was it?
That's all right. Everyone, you have your moments. You just
that's true,
every day,
as we say. Now, if it turns out, we want to get in touch, is there a way that we personally? Now, of course, I know you, so I can just call you up. But the average person out there that may not have access to UFO Phil, how can they reach out and touch someone in the sense of touching the aliens? How can they get in contact?
Well, you have to be really careful because if you start reaching out there, then you could end up, the bad aliens will come and get you.
That's true.
The best thing really to do is to just contact me. Because I'm in contact with Zakon every day. I talk to him on my shortwave transceiver. And you can email me through ufophil.com and I can pass on the message. And if Zakon likes you, then he can choose to, if he wants to contact you. I sort of have to protect the information that I have. I can't just be giving out Zakon's email address.
You're kind of like, totally understandable. And who even knows, sometimes would their internet talk with our internet? I don't know if that would work real well. But in regard to it, you're kind of like a gatekeeper. You're almost, and I don't mean this in a negative way, you're almost like his executive assistant on Earth.
Yeah, he's actually working. The most recent title that I've achieved through his organization is Ambassador to the Aliens, which is it's more of an earthly title, but it was handed down through Zakon, so it's official, it's real. And then he has, I don't know if this is the forum to announce this or if I should just maybe wait a little while, but.
No, please do. Please do. We'd be honored for you to make a major announcement on the Paranormal Podcast.
Well, I'm just going to say for now, and I probably have said too much already, but I'm going to say for now that there's no truth to the rumors that I may have some political aspirations next year.
Oh, am I thinking of a Pat Paulson? Am I thinking of Donald Trump? Am I thinking of UFO Phil for president?
Well, I'm. Who told you that? Where did you hear that? I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
Well, this is the Paranormal Podcast. So we delve into these things like ESP and psychic ability. So even though I don't consider myself psychic, I've picked up, over doing this program for the last 6 years, I picked up a few pointers, UFO Phil. Picture if you will. So what ticket are you going to run on, UFO Phil?
Well, I said that I had no aspirations politically to become the president of anything.
You're the one that said president. Well, I guess I said it too. I don't know. I expect a major announcement. I think you're going to go on Coast to Coast and you're going to tell George Norrie you're running for president.
Well, I just hope you can keep a secret.
I will do my best. So, UFO Phil, it's been so enjoyable to talk to you tonight. I want to play another clip of another song, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to find out where everybody can go to find all the information about you and Zakon and check out all your videos and great information. Let's take a listen to a little bit of this song.
One night I was walking on the mountain all alone, but then I heard a sound and a meteor fell on my head. I really thought I was dead. This evil ship was hovering above ground. They dropped a ladder and a creepy guy climbed down. The rest is kind of a blur.
Well, there you have it. More of the artistry of UFO Phil.
And that one right there, that was a true story. That was based on a true story.
Yeah. I gathered it was from the context. Yeah. Now, UFO Phil, if folks want to find out more about everything that you're up to, all of your travels with the Zakon, your projects, maybe a burgeoning political career, I don't know, where can they go on the internet to find out more about UFO Phil?
Well, they can call the number on their screen within the next 20 minutes, or they can go to ufophil.com. UFO, and it's UFO PHIL, not FILL. That takes you someplace different, and I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I think we want to stay away from that one.
Yeah, just UFO PHIL, ufophil.com. And it's really got everything there. And when I say everything, I mean, really the entire internet could just shut down and it would just go to UFOphil.com.
That's all you need. That's really all you need.
Everything is because when anything happens that's of any importance, you're going to get it. And maybe coasttocoastam.com too. That would be good. And then of course your podcast and your, I know you
Jim
do
Harold, jimharold.com. Yes, I agree. Those 3 sites, that's all you need.
But that's really it. Just those 3.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, UFO Phil. Well, I've got to say, we've done hundreds of programs, and this has certainly been the most recent. And as well, it's also been one of the more unique. So we certainly appreciate. Do you have a little tune on the keyboard you'd like to play us out with?
Well, I don't know if you can hear it very well. It's kind of far away.
I can hear it a little bit. The lovely dulcet tones of UFO Phil. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed this rather unique edition of the Paranormal Podcast. We bring you everything paranormal, including one of the most unique people out there, UFO Phil. We thank you for listening this week, and we'll catch you next time on the Paranormal Podcast. Bye-bye.